Hello everyone, my name is Tarun Nathan, and today we will be talking about Jammu and Kashmir. Let's first take a look at the table of contents of this presentation. To begin, we will be talking about the land, geography, and wildlife of Jammu and Kashmir. Then we'll move on to a brief history of Jammu and Kashmir, and finally we'll end it off with the culture, language, cuisine, and cool tourist destinations within Jammu and Kashmir. So let's get started. To begin, we'll be talking about the land and geography. Jammu and Kashmir is located at the northern tip of the Indian subcontinent. It's bordered by the Indian territory of Ladakh in the east, the Indian states of Himachal Pradesh and Punjab to the south, and by the country of Pakistan in the southwest. The land of Jammu and Kashmir is mostly mountainous and actually consists of 5 unique zones, which are cool because they each have different climates. The first zone are the plains. In the plains, there's very little rain, and the region doesn't have many trees. The majority of the wildlife is made up by small shrubs and patches of grass here and there. The next zone are the foothills of Jammu and Kashmir, which are shown in the picture on the screen. As you can see, there's a few hills and a small mountains in the foothills, and there's a lot of open land. The next zone is the Pir Panjal Range. The range receives heavy rain in forms of winter snowfall and summer rain, and has extensive areas of pasture as well. The fourth zone is the Vale of Kashmir. The Vale of Kashmir is a valley that lies between the Himalaya mountains and the Pir Panjal Range. The majority of the population of Jammu and Kashmir lives in the valley, which is where Srinagar, a capital of Jammu and Kashmir, is located. The fifth and last zone is the Great Himalaya Zone. Jammu and Kashmir contains a small portion of the Great Himalayan mountain range. This small portion also contains a mountain which peak reaches a height of 21,500 feet, which is pretty amazing. Now let's look at a bit of the wildlife of Jammu and Kashmir. The first animal that we'll look at is an indigenous animal by the name of the hungal, which is a very endangered type of deer. In Jammu and Kashmir, we can also find animals like leopards, Himalayan black bears, wildcats, and many more amazing animals. Now, let's move on to a brief history of Jammu and Kashmir. So, Jammu and Kashmir was a princely state under the British Raj. This means that while the British were ruling over India, Jammu and Kashmir was not directly ruled by the British, but was still a territory of the British Raj. In 1947, which is when India gained independence, and India and Pakistan split, Kashmir was to join the Indian Union. However, Pakistan also claimed Kashmir due to its huge Muslim population. Presently, the region is still contested by 3 countries: India, Pakistan, as well as China. Now, let's talk about a little of the culture of Jammu and Kashmir. First, we'll talk about the religions. 2/3 of the population of Jammu and Kashmir are Muslim, while the remaining 1/3 of the population is mostly Hindu. However, there are some people that practice other religions, such as Sikhism and Buddhism as well. For the languages of Jammu and Kashmir actually has 5 official languages: Urdu, English, Kashmiri, Dogri, and Hindi. Now, let's talk a little bit about the cuisine of Jammu and Kashmir. The first dish that we're going to talk about is Kashmiri Rajma. Kashmiri Rajma is sweeter in taste compared to normal Rajma and is served in a tomato and onion-based gravy. I'm sure many of you have had this, and it's one of my personal favorite dishes. The next dish that we'll talk about, which originates in Kashmir, is Kashmiri Pulao. Kashmiri Pulao contains fragrant basmati rice, whole spices, nuts, fresh and dry fruits, as well as saffron. I love Kashmiri Pulao. I have it a lot, and I definitely recommend it. To wrap it up, let's talk about a few cool places to visit if you're ever in Jammu and Kashmir. The first place we'll talk about is the Sri Amarnath Cave Temple. The Sri Amarnath Cave Temple, which is believed to be 5,000 years old, attracts devotees from all over India to visit the Shiva Linga made of ice within the cave, as you can see in the right picture on the screen. Let's look at a quick video that shows us the inside of the cave temple. Another cool place to visit in Jammu and Kashmir is a place called Gulmarg. Gulmarg is a popular tourist destination for many reasons. One reason is that it contains great mountains and hills for skiing, which can be seen in the leftmost picture on the screen. Another reason that Gulmarg is such a popular destination is because of the amazing scenery that can be seen there, as shown in the right picture on the screen. And that's all for Jammu and Kashmir. I hope you guys learned a little bit about the geography of Jammu and Kashmir, the culture of Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the history of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you for listening, and I hope you had fun.